Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is David, aka TCG Kindred, and we are documenting our journey growing a TCG business and a YouTube channel from the ground up. We're going to show everything from packing orders to shipping orders to listing cards to sifting cards. We're going to go over all of that. My plan is to maybe eventually do some live streams, but if this is some kind of content that you enjoy watching, please drop a like, subscribe. I'm trying to better obviously the business, but I'm also trying to better my YouTube stream quality as I go, and I'm just going to try to document and show the whole process from the ground up so you can see what it looked like from the start, and then who knows, months from now or a year from now, we can see where we're at and see how much we've grown and kind of just, reflect on it and hold ourselves accountable. And yeah, that's pretty much what this is for. Um, so thanks for being here. As far as what we're going to do today, I have two orders from yesterday. It's not a lot. I haven't listed any cards on eBay. That's my fault. And that's something that I'm going to fix. And we're going to talk about that as well. I also had a mistake that happened that I'm having to fix, and in return, it's going to cost me money, but that's because I'm choosing for it to. But we're going to talk about that as well. And then, yeah, I'm going to sit here and package these two orders. We had a bulk lot sale. It's 1,200 cards. It's this box right here. And then we sold two of these Rayquaza hollows. So we're going to package these up. These are going to get packaged up, but they're not going to ship out till Monday because today is Saturday, so they wouldn't really move. But this is all going to get shipped out Monday, but I'm going to go ahead and just package it and have it ready. I did just read an article um, that said that Rayquaza cards were actually going up in price. So I'm going to have to check in on that. I just pulled a lot of Rayquazas from the bulk that we got, and they're all over here. That's another thing. Yesterday, we spent all day yesterday. We bought that bulk from the guy selling to us. We bought 2,000 common, uncommon, and 2,000 reverse hollow, hollow. We got through all of that yesterday into last night. We sifted out all of the non-hollow playable trainers and any Pokemon that we're really keeping, which we ended up changing up. Um, we're pretty much only keeping like non-hollow Pikachu's, non-hollow like Snorlax and Eevees and Mimikyus. That's pretty much it for the non-hollows. Everything else we're just leaving in bulk. Um, but we pulled out all the playable trainers, all of the playable Pokemon, the trainer Pokemon like Steven's Beldum or In's Klinklang or you know In's Zekrom. Like we pulled out those. We're gonna list those on TCG Player. Um, Yep. And then we put everything else. We split it into two boxes. We have one box that is TCG Player, which our inventory right now on TCG Player is zero because we wiped it, and we are going to start listing today on that. Um, but I'm changing how I'm doing things. Uh, so we have the box for TCG Player and we have the box for eBay. We need to condition most of the cards. We just separated them. We didn't condition them. I'm pretty much only going to sell near mint stuff on eBay unless I find out that the card is actually worth, more than a bare minimum price. Um, but as far as TCG player goes, we will sell lightly playeds. I might even sell a few moderately playeds, depending on the card, because I know there are a few cards that are like really relevant, like the Badoos. I have a few of those hollows that are actually moderately played that I'm going to list, and we're going to see if they sell. But for the most part, we're only going to be selling near mint lightly played and maybe the occasional moderately played on TCG player. But we have all of that to go through today and try to condition as much as possible. But like I said, our sales are kind of taking a hit on eBay because we haven't really been doing a whole lot. In fact, we've actually taken quite a few cards off of eBay. We took down all of our popular Pokemon that weren't hollow, and got rid of all of those. They're in bulk now. We took down all of the artist cards, and we put the hollows and reverse hollows back in with the reverse hollow and hollow that we're going to go through. And then if it makes the cut, we put it on. If it doesn't, it's going in the bulk box. So we're kind of minimizing what we're taking. I gave the artist cards a try. I didn't really sell anything. I know I only gave like a 2 week trial, but for me, that's long enough, especially during this stint. Because if you're new here and you don't know, I'm a traveling poker dealer. I travel all over the country. I deal poker tournaments, and so I travel. I'll be leaving out on the 1st of September or like the day before the 1st of September. and probably won't be able to work on this business because I'll be traveling the entire month of September into the first week or so of October, first 2 weeks. But after that little brief stint, when I get back, first or second week of October, I don't have any more events planned. So I'll be able to work on the business from October to the end of the year, going into January. By then, I usually have an event at the beginning of January. Not sure if I'm going to do it yet because me and my wife are expecting our daughter, and our daughter is supposed to be here probably like the first, second week of January. So looking forward to that. It's gonna be a big change. But yeah. So we didn't have a whole lot of time, so I tried to give them a chance, and they weren't selling. So I took them down, put them in bulk, and so we're just gonna do some bulk lots. I need to get some more bulk lots set up because I have none up right now. My last one just got bought, uh, and so we need to get some more set up so we can get some of those sold. At least that way all the money kind of comes in at once. If I sell them for 60, 70, 80, 90 bucks, whatever I sell them for, I get that money the moment it gets delivered. I don't have to wait for so many cards to sell before I get that, which is kind of nice, especially when you don't have a full, like, you can't really continuously work on the business like me. Like, I travel, so the business gets put on hold when I travel. So for me, it's better to just bulk lot it. But for the longer stint, like I said, when I come back, like second week of October, I'm probably going to get some artist cards from bulk and maybe do a few more popular Pokemon and give them shots since they could be on for a couple of months and we'll just really see how it goes. But yeah, we downsized our inventory a little bit on eBay. I think that's pretty much it that we did. Um, I'm trying to think real quick. Yeah. So we started holding out like some of the popular birds, like the legendary birds, like Zapdos, Ho-Oh, Lugia, um, Articuno. We're holding those out. We're gonna list those as popular Pokemon. We're gonna see if they sell. Then of course we're adding Rayquaza. We're gonna put a bunch of Rayquazas on. And yeah. So that's pretty much gonna be it. Um, but yeah, my business I feel like is suffering a little bit on eBay because I've been working a lot on TCG Player or working on my inventory to get put onto TCG Player. So I haven't really had any time and I haven't listed anything. So I'm going to change that today. Uh, Instead of doing like this huge, massive overhaul on TCG Player, I'm going to split the focus. I'm going to go through as many as I can, and I'm going to put 100 cards onto eBay and then put 100 cards onto TCG Player, and I'm going to go back and forth. With that, I might do 300 on eBay one day and 400 on TCG Player one day, but I'm going to go back and forth until I have pretty much everything listed. And that's going to be the plan. We're going to do that. I'm really looking forward to it, especially on TCG Player. We have a lot of good cards that are going to go on. And if you didn't see the last video, my prices are going to change. My floor price for non-hollows is going to go to 25 cents, and my floor price for hollow and reverse hollows is going to go up to the direct floor of 40 cents. Obviously, if they're worth a little bit more, they'll get put at whatever the more is. So, like if they're worth, say they're worth like 27 cents, 28 cents, I'm going to round them up to 30 and do that. I'll do that probably for the most part all the way up to a dollar. Once they get to a dollar or above, I'm probably just going to market price them because I'm fine with that. I know there's some like $2. I think I have a card on my store that's worth like $4. It's a Night Stretcher from Shrouded Fable, Reverse Hollow, and it's like a $4 card. And originally I had it marked up by like 10%. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna put it at market price. If it sits, it sits, whatever. But I'm just gonna market price anything over a dollar. I think it's gonna be my strategy from here on out for TCG Player. Um, as far as plans today, we kind of went over it a little bit. We are just going to get these two orders packaged and set to the side. We are going to list cards on eBay and TCG Player all day. We're going to fix our inventory a little bit on eBay because I've went through like my eBay listings yesterday as well, and I was pulling out cards because before I had made my list of relevant trainers and metas and things like that that need to be on TCG Player, I had put inventory on eBay already. So I went through my eBay inventory and individually deleted the listings that needed to be on TCG Player and pulled those cards, and now they're going to be in my TCG Player inventory. So I need to go on the card uploader and I need to readjust the batches and everything and try to make these batches 50 cards back again. 'Cause I like my batches to be like 50 cards. And I'm also going to go back to, I've used them before. I stopped using them. I've got these little numbered stickers that can go on penny sleeves. It's a little bit of extra work and it's a bit of a hassle to put those on, but it's going to help with inventory. I figured that out because, like when you pull inventory and everything, it's like card 37. And then as it goes, like 3 days from now, you could sell the card that's behind that was card number 38, but it's actually like card 23 now because you've sold that many cards in that batch. But if you have them marked with stickers, then it doesn't matter. So we're gonna go back to doing that. Um, so it'll be a little bit of extra work, but that's okay. I'd rather it be quicker when it comes to pulling inventory, anyways. The amount of time it's gonna save me probably versus the amount of time it's gonna take me to do it, it's probably worth it. So that's where my head's at it with that. I'm hoping you guys can't hear these fans. It is really hot outside and it's hot in our house, so I have two fans running. Actually, I guess three because we have the ceiling fan going. So I'm hoping that it's not messing with the sound very much, but we shall see. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to package these orders really fast. I should have been doing that already while we were talking. That would have been the smart thing to do, but live and you learn. So yeah, um, that's pretty much going to be our main focus today. We're just going to list a whole bunch of cards onto eBay and TCG Player. Um, I know in my head, I really wanted to like list all of my cards on TCG Player at the exact same time, and technically I could do that, but I'm also afraid of doing that because if I do that, and you know, if my floor prices, which I think my floor prices are actually going to be really good, but I could maybe even push them higher and cards still sell, but I don't want to put my entire inventory on that I have and then it just get absolutely blasted. And I'm going to make money, yes, but it's going to get blasted and I'm going to have to package like, 40, 50 orders in a day, which I can do. That's no problem. But I want to try to avoid that because when I first started TCG Player, I was 100% just putting cards really low and just getting them to sell. I was trying to race to level 4. I was trying to get there really fast because I was like, once I get to level 4, I can offer free shipping, and then I can up my prices and everything will be great. And so now we're at level 4 and haven't really been able to do that because I think I had the wrong mentality when it came to TCG Player. I feel like you can sell, like obviously the bigger your inventory, the more cards you're going to sell. 100%, no doubt about it. But for me, I just want to use TCG Player as a way to sell my playable trainers and Pokemon that people are going to use for the game, that are going to play the game. eBay is going to be for everything else. That's where everything else is going to go. If it's not worth at least a quarter, then it's going to go into a bulk box and I'm going to just sell it as bulk. I will put lots up on eBay and sell them, or if I can find somebody locally who will buy it for more than what I'm paying, then I'm going to do that. I know it's Phantom. He buys at $20 per thousand on the non hollows, and then $50 I think per thousand on the reverse hollow and hollows, which is more than what I pay for. So I definitely could just, I could just send to him or maybe save up enough and take them to him or whatever. But that's going to be a, you know, down the road situation. We have a good amount of bulk right now, but we don't have like so much that we are just out of space and don't know what to do with. Obviously, when we get to that point or close to that point, I dropped some trash. And then I dropped it again. Why not? Because the wind keeps blowing it. There we go. Obviously, when we get to that point, we'll have to come up with something. And most likely, if we really, really had to, we would. What the heck? I got to reprint this. There's a freaking, I don't know why, but there's a huge line right through the address, and I don't want it to not get where it's going because there's a line through it and they can't read it. And it did it again. What the frick? Sorry, guys. Give me just a second. I got to figure out what the heck is going on with my label printer and why it's being like this. I did clean it, but yeah. So when we get to that point, we'll definitely be looking at different avenues and things. But I'm hoping that we don't actually get to that point, because I'm going to keep selling bulk lots, and I'm gonna keep probably upping my prices progressively and get them to sell. These last ones I did at a much like at a lower price because I was mainly just trying to get them to sell because they had sat so long and I wanted the extra income to be able to put towards bulk and everything because I had some bulk that I was wanting to buy. And now we've pretty much done that, and we've got a pretty good amount of money that we're sitting on. Um, once we get paid from eBay and everything, so we're going to have to get through all that. Yeah, I guess I can't really package orders and talk at the same time. Need to work on that. But yeah, we were gonna go over our numbers for yesterday. I guess technically could, but I haven't finished packing the orders, so I don't exactly know the exact amount of money that I made. So I'm not going to show you guys the spreadsheet. I will tell you that we did. I don't remember if I said this in yesterday's video. We bought stamps and we bought the inventory yesterday, which was another $110. So that's going to be on the spreadsheet, and our expenses are up because of that, and our expenses are up because we paid $5.48 to send the card to the guy through pirate ship, which I know is way too expensive, but it was early this morning and I just didn't want to mess with it, so I just said screw it. So I sent him that card. That's the card for the mistake that we made, so I made sure to send him the correct card this time. And I told him he could just keep the other card as an apology for sending the wrong card. He was super nice about it. He was super chill. Honestly, every encounter I've ever had, this is the first time I've ever accidentally sent the wrong card. But like anytime, like on TCGPlayer, when an order's not showing up, the people are usually really great or really cool with it. And I'm all about customer service. Like I work in a customer service industry and I have for years now. So I'm all about, I'm making sure the customer's happy, and I always treat the entire situation and treat the person with respect. And for the most part, they always reciprocate it, and we always come to a very good outcome. A lot of times, if I ask them to wait for a few more days, they do it, or and usually it ends up showing up. I don't think I've actually had any that hasn't shown up. I had one that technically didn't show up, but it came back to me, and I resent it. Uh, but other than that, yeah, they've pretty much all gotten where they've gotten or where they needed to go. Granted, I haven't done all that many orders. I've done like, 115, 120. No, actually, I've done about 150 orders. Let me look real quick. I can actually look. I have it up right here. Yeah, I've done 168 orders actually. So yeah, and for the most, and they've always gotten where they need to go. So, but yeah, I think, if you just treat people with respect, you treat the situation with respect. You don't just be like, oh, you're lying, yada yada yada, or all this other stuff, or you don't go down that path. For the most part, the people are going to be understanding, and the whole situation is going to be resolved without any issues. At least that's my experience. But I think it's pretty easy to keep a situation from escalating like that. But yeah, so we're not going to do over the numbers today. We'll probably go over them tomorrow because I'm going to finish packaging these, and then we'll be able to see the actual numbers. We're pretty much a day behind, anyways, when we do these videos. But yeah, so I'm going to get off of here. We are going to package up this box and tape it up nice and safely. We're going to then get ready to start posting some bulk. We're going to clean our scanner off. First things first, I'm going to go through my eBay inventory real quick. It's not that big, fortunately. It's like 1,000 cards. I'm going to go through it real quick, make sure to condense the batches back down, and make sure that they're in the correct order. And then we're going to put those stickers on. That might take longer than I think it's actually going to take, but we're going to do that. Then we will go through some cards because I already have some that I've went through that I've conditioned. We're going to go through those, and we're going to do 2 batches of 50 is what we're going to try to get up to, and put those onto eBay. And then yeah, and then we'll be switching to TCG Player. We got some cards that are ready to go on, and then some cards that are need to be conditioned. But I need to go through the bulk that I got, and I need to set sort it. That's the first thing that I'm gonna have to do before I do all of that. I need to set sort them so they're in the correct sets, and then we can go through and really start to crack on them and condition them. It's just going to make it faster when we go to list the cards because they're already going to be in the correct sets. So, but yeah, if you've hung around this long, I appreciate you watching. I know this was just a bunch of looking at me and talking about the business and everything, but sometimes it's nice to just reflect on the business and get a clear headspace and figure out which way you really want to go with things. I know a lot of times I have plenty of issues where I think about too many things at once, or I'll change my mind a lot, and I'm really trying to work on that. I really just need to get focused on going in one direction, doing one thing, and do it. So that's what I'm going to try to do and try to improve on. That's pretty much what this video was about, and just talking a lot about things that had been happening with the business. Just keeping myself accountable and keeping you all and myself up to date with how the business is going, whether it be, tomorrow or months or a year from now when somebody or myself relooks at this video. So thanks again for anybody who has made it this far in the video. If you're new here, this type of content you like, I promise it's not always this just sitting here talking, but drop a like, subscribe. If you have any tips, anything, any questions, or you just want to talk randomly, drop a comment. I'll answer all of my comments. Yeah. So thanks again. I hope you all have a really great weekend. Try and stay cool. I know it's hot in a lot of places in the world. Try and stay cool. Enjoy your weekends, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.